You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, and drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast?
At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
It's time now for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show. Now, here's Grouchy.
Good evening, everybody, and bienvenidos to our Spanish-speaking listeners. Yeah, all two of you. We do this show in English, so tighten your shit up. I don't know if there was a language disclaimer or not when this started, but if there wasn't, there will be language. And some of it, not pleasant.
You can't hear me in the new one.
Oh, what's going on around the world? I don't know. We got Houthis attacking off of the coast of Yemen, Red Sea over there. They're trying to show their ass. We'll talk more about that a little later. What else? Oh yeah, there was a primary last night. Shoot. What's her face? Yeah. Haley. Yeah, she's all excited because she got almost half the vote, Almost half the vote. With DeSantis having withdrawn, and Christie having withdrawn, and everybody else having withdrawn, she got almost half the vote in New Hampshire. I'm not sure how that bodes, for her in the big picture. I don't foresee that as any kind of harbinger of Trump's doom in the primaries. It's just one of those weird things. I had something here. Where was it? I wanted to. Damn. Okay, yeah. As a matter of fact, it showed so little that one of Haley's biggest financiers, Reid Hoffman, the billionaire, co-founder of LinkedIn, has withdrawn fund. Well, not withdrawn, but he's not going to put any more funding into Nikki Haley's campaign. He's done with her. So Hoffman showing that his pull-out game is strong with Nikki Haley. Good for him. Good for her, I guess. I don't know. Bad for her. Hey, however you want to look at it, that's what it is. So, there's other things going on out there, but we've got some things that are scripted up, and that's why we do this thing, is to bring them to you. It's things you may not have seen in the news because we know that they only show us what they want to show us, how they want to show it to us, to make us believe what they want us to believe, how they want us to believe it. So anyway, the bienvenidos earlier ties into tonight's first story, which comes to us from Ecuador and lands at our southern doormat. So Ecuador, it used to be a great great little country to go visit. And, there was a time when Americans would retire there because they knew their dollar would stretch a lot further, and they were not too far away from the United States should they need to get back for anything important. It's a great little haven, a lot like Bolivia in South America, but, a little further away Bolivia is, but Ecuador is pretty close. I mean, it's tucked right between two cocaine producing countries. So, a lot of activity evolving around that. But the escalating violence in Ecuador has sparked concerns over a significant rise in migration to the U.S. The South American country has been rocked by explosions, prison takeovers, cartel activity. Thousands and thousands of Ecuadorians feel like they have no option but to seek refuge elsewhere. In the aftermath of COVID-19 and the current uptick of disorder, many Ecuadorians have been fleeing the country of four worlds. That's what they call themselves, the country of four worlds. You can look it up. I'm not going into that. According to the Migration Policy Institute, the most common destination for Ecuadorians, shockingly, is the United States, accounting for 41% of Ecuadorians leaving their home country. I'm shocked that number is not higher. The think tank notes that the most recent exodus has been catalyzed by an escalation in domestic insecurity. Tucked away between major cocaine-producing countries, Ecuador has been grappling with an alarming rise in gang activity. The increased presence of Mexican and Colombian cartels has rapidly destabilized the country. The situation escalated when more than a dozen armed men invaded a local television station's live broadcast earlier this month. As simmering tensions have boiled over, Ecuador's government has declared an all-out war on more than 20,000 criminals. That doesn't sound like that much, really. 20,000. It's a little country. I mean, can't be too hard to find them, right? You would think. In an attempt to crack down on persistent gang disturbances, Ecuador's been in a state of emergency since January 9th. Wow. The 60-day emergency decree comes as the country is facing what President Daniel Noboa describes as armed internal conflict. Well, yeah. At the heart of this, Ecuador's brimming mayhem is a notorious mob boss who remains elusive. How do you remain elusive when you're a notorious mob boss in a tiny little country and you're an uber wealthy guy? This is kind of like Osama bin Laden walking amongst Afghanistans, towering over them at 6'4" when the average Afghani is like 5'7". It should stick out like a sore thumb. But Jose Adolfo Macias, also known as Fito. No. I know what you're thinking. It's not Vigo. It's Fito. It's not Vigo. But anyway, he's been on Ecuador's most wanted list since he escaped from prison over the first weekend of the year. I mean, that doesn't help things. Macias and his Los Choneros gang are considered responsible for a spike in bombings, kidnappings, and slayings across the nation. And I don't mean like ho slayings. So, the increasing violence in Ecuador in recent years has led to a rapid surge in Ecuadorian migration and the deteriorating conditions will undoubtedly accelerate that trend, according to Benjamin Geeden, director of the Latin America project at the Wilson Center. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol have been grappling with a higher than usual influx of migrants coming from Ecuador over the past several months. In fiscal year 2023, the agency encountered a record 117,487 Ecuadorians, marking a staggering 371% increase from the previous year. Additionally, there was a 397% rise in the apprehensions of Ecuadorian family units from 2022 to 2023. So it's not just men, it's the whole family coming. The unprecedented unrest not only continues to pose a formidable challenge to the country, but also sparks fears of overwhelming an already saturated southern U.S. border. Yeah, why aren't they staying in Mexico? Yeah, right. I know, right? That's funny. Can't go south to Colombia because that's where the problem's originating. But Mexico's a big ass country. There's got to be places you can go to and be away from the cartels and whatever. I don't know. I know we have to shut our border down. We have to. We have to. Our border's not secure. Our border's not closed. And Mayorkas and Biden and Harris and Buttigieg and anybody else that wants to say otherwise is simply full of shit. Order has been restored to the prisons after days of rioting in Ecuador, along with the successful release of more than 200 police staff and officers. Authorities have sieged large amounts of contraband and narcotics from criminal entities. And not Macias, though. He got away. Widespread security operations have led to roughly 2,000 arrests, including hundreds from 22 gangs designated as terrorist organizations. However, the turmoil continues despite the unequipped and inexperienced government's best efforts. This week, senior officials from the Biden administration gathered with President Noboa and other top Ecuadorian government figures. The meeting was arranged to demonstrate U.S. solidarity with Ecuador following a recent escalation in violence. The United States is extending its support to the Ecuadorian government by pledging $1 million in critical security and emergency response equipment. Kind of seems like a booger compared to Ukraine, right? $1 million. The U.S. has also announced the deployment of personnel from both the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI to bolster security operations in Ecuador. Well, that means you can count on the CIA being there too, and the Secret Service probably. They have, they have their little operations that go on down there, and they stage a lot out of Ecuador and cross over into Colombia and then bounce back for what's supposed to be safety. But the international crisis coincides with a domestic challenge of ongoing deadlock among U.S. lawmakers regarding border policy. When coupled with the escalating threat in Ecuador, the lack of agreement on the border could augment an already chaotic situation. As migration north is only expected to grow, experts like Gedan draw attention to the need for a more robust response and suggested the U.S. should encourage a serious response to Ecuador's security nightmare. I tend to agree with them. We've discussed this on the program before. I feel, and I know of some others that feel the same way, that it is truly incumbent upon us to go to these countries like Ecuador, basically vanquish the criminal element, install capitalism as a way of life, create job opportunities for these people, and keep them in their country. Bringing them here is not the answer. Them coming here is not the answer. They need to stay home, and they need to have a reason to stay home. I would much rather see our country spend our resources getting that done than just throwing money at their problems so that they can handle it. But hey, that's just me. Now, since we're already outside the United States, we teased this a little while ago. Yemen's Houthi rebels are enthusiastically confronting America directly, the organization's leader said in a televised speech, vowing to continue the group's campaign of attacks on ships in the Red Sea until Israel's blockade of Gaza is lifted. Now, here's what I'm going to say right off the bat, out of the chute. You're going to know where I stand on this. These bastards have launched missiles at U.S.-flagged commercial ships, nuked the whole friggin' country, turned that sand into glass, and you have stopped a Houthi rebel uprising. The people over there, they support them. They will hide them, they will help them, they will feed them, they will give them weapons. Whatever they can do for the Houthi rebels, if they're not part of it, they will help them. They're terrorists just the same. So I have absolutely no problem with just dropping a big nuke right in the center of Yemen. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. You attack us, that's what you get. I think a lot of people have forgotten what we're capable of doing. And sadly, I think a lot of the people that are in positions to make it happen have forgotten what we're capable of doing. But the remarks came as the U.S. steps up its strikes on Houthi targets and ahead of President Biden's admission to reporters that so far his administration's military action was not having its intended effect. No shit, Sherlock. When you fire 5 missiles, that's not going to get the job done. You have to unload on them like this is day 1 of Desert Storm. About 400 tomahawks and about 600 sorties. That's a good start. Then let's see what they're thinking. Biden, in his exchange with the reporters, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes. Yeah. The White House did redesignate the Houthis as a terrorist organization today, officially, after delisting the group in 2021 because they didn't like that Trump put them on the terror organization list. Had to undo that Trump thing only so he could turn around and do it himself. Because that's how they roll. You know, you can't fix stupid. You can only hope to contain it. The U.S. carried out its 5th airstrike against Houthi targets in Yemen late Thursday night last week, with American jets targeting anti-ship missiles that U.S. Central Command said were aimed into the southern Red Sea and prepared to launch. As if to validate Biden's comments, the Iran-backed rebel group within hours launched 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles at a U.S.-owned tanker. The vessel, a small chemical tanker called the Chem Ranger, reported no injuries or damage to the ship. It is a great honor and blessing to be confronting America directly, Houthi leader Abdul Malek al-Houthi said in his defiant hour-long speech that leaned heavily on religious rhetoric. He claimed that the U.S. and U.K. strikes on Yemen only sharpened its military's technology and that it proved the Houthi strategy, which targeted Israeli ships or those coming to or from Israel, was working. The Houthis' actions have certainly worked to disrupt transport and seaborne trade in the region. Major ocean carriers have suspended all Red Sea and Suez Canal transport, opting to sail around the continent of Africa instead, creating significant delays and supply bottlenecks and costing companies billions of dollars. I told you, light them up and it'll go away. Al-Houthi also took a personal swipe at the American president, mocking Biden as an elderly man that has trouble climbing the stairs of an airplane, yet is traveling 9,000 miles to attack those that wanted to stand by the oppressed people of Gaza. Yeah, well, you can fuck off with that noise. Is he an elderly man that has trouble climbing stairs? Yes. He's an elderly man that has trouble not pooping in his pants. He's an elderly man that really loves pudding and ice cream. But, yeah. Yeah, there's no oppressed people in Gaza. You know how I know this? Because there's 2.4 million Arabs living inside of Israel and doing so peacefully. If you want to live in peace with Israel, all you got to do is live in peace. It's that simple. The Biden administration, along with the UK government, began launching retaliatory strikes at the Houthis, who control most of Yemen, on January 12th, after the group spent a number of weeks carrying out dozens of attacks on ships traversing the Red Sea. The Yemeni rebels say their campaign is in response to Israel's relentless bombardment of the Gaza Strip and the U.S. support for it. The Houthi leader vowed to continue the attacks until Israel lifts its blockade of Gaza, saying that nothing, not all the threats, the missiles, the pressure, will change our position. I think that's a challenge. And we should take them up on it. I'm not ready to go to war. I'm not saying this would be a war. I'm just saying give them what they want and they'll go away. And, you know, they want two things. We can give them the latter. We're not going to give them Israel. So we can give them all the missiles and bombs they want. And drop them straight down on them. Israel's offensive against Gaza began after Hamas militants from the Palestine enclave launched a terror attack on southern Israel that killed about 1,200 people and took another 240 hostages, of which 136 remain in captivity. The Israeli response, which included a complete siege of the already blockaded territory and a daily aerial bombardment, has triggered all kinds of disruptions and apparently incurred the wrath of the Houthis. I don't feel bad for this. You stand in the streets and wave Palestine flags to support what they did, and then you cry when one of their, we'll call them foot soldiers, uses your house and family as a shield and your house gets blown up. I don't feel bad for you. Sorry. Actually, I'm not. F you and your house and your flag waving and everything that goes with it. The goat, the imam, whatever. You know? You want to stop the Houthis? You bomb their ass into oblivion. These onesie-twosie strikes aren't going to get it done. They're daring you. They want you to do it. Oblige them. Anyway, all right. We're just past the bottom of the hour. We got to take a little break. Fill up your drink, stretch your legs, crack your ankles, whatever you got to do. I'm old. I'm in pain. I've been rubbing the weed into my knees along with some I don't know, some other stuff. Anyway, yeah, just go get your drink and be back in your seat in 4 minutes. And Rick's still playing the music, so let's do it.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
All right. Best bumper music in the business. Best intro music and outro music in the business, too. Challenge anybody. Let's see. Top of the hour coming up. Red Wine following me. And then your nightcap with Rick and Orty, Amish and Robinson. Whatever the dynamic duo is calling themselves these days. Churn and butter. I don't know. You know, I just work here. And that's been part, but we're working on fixing that. We're working on it. Hey, look, 2 weeks in a row here. Come on. A little applause, huh? Yeah. That's right, sons of bitches. Anyway, so you're going to want to stay tuned to KLRN Radio tonight. That is America's podcast network for those of you scoring at home. And you just might learn something before it's all over with. If you remember last week, we started talking about the case of Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. Yeah. I know she says Fannie, but it's Fannie. Let's be real. Anyway, a Georgia judge on Monday blocked, and he stipulated for now, a deposition of Fannie by lawyers in the divorce of Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, whom Willis appointed to oversee the criminal election case of former President Donald Trump. Cobb County Superior Court Judge Henry Thompson said he needed to hear what Nathan Wade said in his deposition before determining if Willis should be deposed in the divorce by Jocelyn Wade's lawyers. That'd be Nathan's soon-to-be ex-wife. It seems to me that Mr. Wade would be the first and best source of information on what his income has been and how he's been spending it, and that he would have firsthand knowledge of whether he's engaged in an extramarital affair, Thompson said. Well, you see, here's the thing, Judge, is, a lot of times people aren't honest about shit like that. But Willis is seeking to block the deposition amid questions of whether she engaged in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade at the time he and his law firm were being paid $700,000+ by Fulton County to act as a special counsel in Trump's criminal case. Despite having prosecuted not much more than parking tickets and breaking and enterings, Trump is charged with racketeering and other charges related to his efforts to undo his loss in Georgia's 2020 election. And Thompson said that he would unseal the Wade's divorce case after noting that the procedures for sealing the case from public view were not followed. One of Trump's co-defendants in the criminal case alleges that Willis and Nathan Wade engaged in misconduct by having improper clandestine personal relationship during the pendency of this case, which has resulted in the special prosecutor and in turn the district attorney profiting significantly from this prosecution at the expense of the taxpayers. Now, Jocelyn Wade, in a court filing, said that her husband filed for divorce, or said that since her husband filed for divorce, that he has taken multiple trips outside the country. The evidence is clear that Miss Willis was a travel partner for at least some of these trips, as indicated by flights he purchased for her to accompany him. Defendant seeks to depose Miss Willis in order to determine details surrounding her romantic affair with the plaintiff, as there appears to be no reasonable explanation for their travels apart from a romantic relationship, the filing said. This shit's getting hot, kids. I mean, I can't wait for this. This is going to blow up, and somebody's going to end up in jail, and Fanny's going to be strutting her fanny around, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people happy to see her in Gen Pop, because even those tough chicks in Gen Pop will beat her ass. She put a lot of them in there, so we'll see.
She's a prosecutor. If she goes to jail, she'll probably wind up in fucking solitary anyway.
They'll send her to the country club, I'm sure, but
unless somebody greases some palms, which let's hope.
Yeah, I mean, let her feel some of what it's like to take advantage of the situation. So, anyway, we scoot up the East Coast to New Jersey, or Jersey.
Do we have to? We just stopped.
Here's the thing, though. They got this great Democrat governor there named Phil Murphy. Apparently, he's the guy that took Christie's place when he bailed out so he could live at the Sizzler for all you can eat every day. He mandated this thing about single-use plastic bags.
Dude, I heard about this. There was a dude ranting for like 20 minutes on social media.
Oh, this is so funny, though. So we have this is not the only place to do it. Jersey is not the only place to do it. There's probably about a dozen, we'll call them blue states, because they just vote Democrat 99% of the time, that have banned single-use plastic bags. And it's proved unsuccessful in curbing plastic consumption, with a new study in New Jersey showing that it has actually tripled, not decreased. So Governor Phil Murphy signed a bill that set the bag ban into motion in May of 2022 in an effort to address plastic pollution. And he said it will help mitigate climate change. That's how you can tell it's bullshit right off the bat. So the ban, which was the strictest of its kind at the time, restricted retail and grocery stores from providing customers with single-use plastic bags and prohibited grocery stores larger than 2,500 square feet from giving customers single-use paper bags. Now, I don't understand the paper bag thing because those have been made out of recycled paper since at least the 80s, maybe even before. So he says plastic bags are one of the most problematic forms of garbage, leading to millions of discarded bags that stream annually into our landfills, rivers, and oceans. Okay, I will not dispute that. People are slobs, and they should discard their bags properly. So, yes, it's a people problem. It's not a plastic problem. It's a people problem. The law also banned polystyrene foam food takeout containers, so no styrofoam, and used or single-use plastic straws unless the customer specifically requests one, which I will. Shoppers resorted to reusable bags composed of woven and non-woven polypropylene plastic, which quickly became a problem for people who racked up collections of the bags only to reuse them maybe just a couple of times before discarding them or donating their excess to a food bank. However, this surge in reusable bags has created its own sort of environmental problem. So here you go. You got people doing this. To have an alternative grocery bag that has a positive effect on the environment, a cotton bag would need to be used 7,100 times, according to a report on the life cycle of reusable bags. Somehow I don't think that's happening. One New Jerseyan told NJ Advance Media in 2022 that she keeps her bags in the basement. Well, that's just spiffy, Marlene. She said, I have another bag by the door in case I go out to the farmer's market. Most of them are brand new, even have the tag on them, she said. I use them one time, but I don't throw them out. What the hell do you do with them then? Well, how are you going to use it one time and not throw it out and still have it? What the hell? I don't get it. I really don't. So a new study by Fredonia Group on January 9th shows that the plastic bag ban the governor touted as the strongest bill of its kind in the U.S. has produced the opposite effect. New Jersey residents have used 3 times the amount of plastic, consuming 53 million pounds of plastic before the law and 151 million pounds after. Most of these alternative bags are made with non-woven polypropylene, which is not widely recycled in the United States and does not typically contain any post-consumer recycled materials. Oh boy, isn't that special? So this shift in material also resulted in a notable environmental impact with the increased consumption of polypropylene bags to a 500% increase in greenhouse gas emissions compared to non-woven polypropylene bags in 2015. Blah! So New Jersey, as I mentioned earlier, not the only state to be facing this issue. Other states include Vermont, Oregon, California, and Colorado. It says there are 12 total. But, that's where it is. And, we still got a few minutes. Let's do this. Here's a big deal, okay? It's not going to sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal. Saudi Arabia is preparing to open its first liquor store. You heard that right. Its first liquor store. It will serve exclusively non-Muslim diplomats, according to a source familiar with the plan. Customers will have to register via a mobile app and get a clearance code from the foreign ministry and respect monthly quotas with their purchases. The move is a milestone in the kingdom's effort, led by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, to open the ultra-conservative Muslim country for tourism and businesses, as drinking alcohol is forbidden in Islam. Excuse me. It's also part of a wider plan known as Vision 2030 to build a post-oil economy. The new store is located in Riyadh's Diplomatic Quarter, a neighborhood where embassies and diplomats reside, and will be strictly restricted, it says that, to non-Muslims. It was unclear if other non-Muslim expatriates will have access to the store. Millions of expatriates live in Saudi Arabia, but most of them are Muslim workers from Asia and Egypt. So, yeah, getting on board with letting us Westerners have a little booze while we work our federal government jobs in Saudi Arabia. Huge deal. You're gonna see. I think you're gonna see a lot of Saudi Arabia moving towards Dubai's model of business in the future. Just a hunch. Now, it is time for G's guaranteed happy ending. And let me tell you something, brother. I got a big one for you tonight.
That took a turn.
Retired wrestler Hulk Hogan and a friend rescued a teenage girl who was trapped in an overturned vehicle after a crash in Florida. Hogan said on social media that he used a ballpoint pen to puncture the car's airbag and free the girl after witnessing the accident last Sunday night in Tampa. His new wife, Sky, took to Facebook to praise the quick action taken by her 70-year-old husband. Yes, folks, it's true. Hulk Hogan is 70 years old. And the couple's friend, Jake Rask. By all appearances, she was unscathed, really just rattled, which is amazing. Tampa Police Department said in an email Tuesday that there were only minor injuries from the crash, and Hulk Hogan had to say afterwards, "Thank you, God, all is well even now. Amen." And let me tell you something, folks. That's a 70-year-old man who has a lot of trouble getting around. You may or may not be familiar with the business of professional wrestling, but it takes a toll on the body. And as you age, things get really rough to get around. And, you know, luckily her car wasn't engulfed in flames or anything like that, but it very well could have been. And, you know, good on the Hulkster for seeing it and stopping and taking quick action, which had to be hard enough in its own at 70 years old. So I give the Hulkster the big happy ending tonight. And, you know, that's it. That's the show. If you like it, tell your friends. If they like it, you need new ones. But they and you are welcome right here on KLRN Radio with me every Wednesday night. I'm your host, The Grouch. Peace. Thank you guys in the chat. Love you.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Here's to us, here's to love, all the times that we messed up. Here's to you, feel the grass, 'cause the last few nights have kicked my ass. If they give you hell, tell them go fuck themselves. Go fuck themselves. Here's to us, here's to us, here's to us, here's to us, here's to love, here's to everybody well. Here's to us, here's to love, here's to us, here's to us.